Once again, welcome, dear viewers. I hope you've been well. Now, we are still doing the series of the human mind, and like I earlier mentioned, the mind is such an important aspect of your growth. If you don't understand how your mind works, you'll get frustrated, but you may not get the results that you desire. Therefore, I would really once again urge you that you stay tuned so that we get impacted together. And today, I would wish to use another analogy of a thermostat. And maybe to understand it, we have a thermometer that is common to most of us, and we have a thermostat. And a thermometer, what it basically does is it measures the temperature of a given room, for example. The thermometer will indicate the degree of the temperature. But the thermostat, on the other hand, its work is to regulate the temperature. Now, let's assume you went into a room that has a thermostat. As you get into this room, what happens? If you went to this thermostat and you set it at 75 degrees, for example, it will ensure that the temperature of that room is maintained at 75 degrees. If you went to this room and you decided to set it at 80 degrees, it will ensure that temperature is maintained at that. Now, what exactly happens? What happens is that a thermostat, once you have set it, let's assume you have set it even at 100 degrees, it will maintain at that. Now, what will happen moving forward, for example, if you've set your temperature at 75 degrees, in case the door was opened and the wind came in so that the temperature of this room goes back to even 40 degrees, the thermostat will ensure that again this temperature rises to 75 degrees because that is where it's set. So the room temperature must be maintained at that. Now, let's assume that it happened that the temperature went higher than 75 degrees. The thermostat will play the exact role. It will bring it down. That, dear viewer, is how your mind works. It works exactly. So each of us has a thermostat setting inside of us, what I'll call the self-identity. Each of us has that inside of us that regulates the results that we need or we get in the outside world. For example, let's say you have a thermostat setting for your weight. If you've set inside your mind, and most of it is unconscious, you've set the specific weight that you're supposed to. Anytime you go past that, you will try your best to go back to where you are. Anytime you go below, for example, if your thermostat setting for your weight is at 70 kgs, for example, you may go to the gym and do some practice. If you go to practice and you practice until you come even to 60 or even 58, but your internal is against that, you will find yourself engaging in habits like now eating some junky food, eating some food, or even not exercising again. The reason as to why these outside situations are happening the way they are happening, they want to take you back to your default system. Once you get to 70 again, you're okay. If you go higher than 70, you will start getting worried, and you will now start doing things that can get you back to 70 kg. The same applies even to our finances. If you are a 10,000 person, if your identity is $10,000, for example, you will never go beyond the 10,000. Anytime you go above 10,000, you will find the uses for this money coming up. The reason as to why the uses for money is coming up, your identity is telling you that the thermostat setting, your finance thermostat setting is at 10,000. But now you have 20,000. You have to go back to this 10,000. Therefore, you will start getting use for this money. Problems will start coming up. You will start finding uses for this money. You will find yourself doing some impulse buying. You will find even, I think I need to replace my phone. I think I need to travel to this particular town. I think I need to visit this hotel that I've never visited. Why are those things coming up? They are coming up so that they take you back to where you belong. Once you go back to where you belong, now the rest of the things will fall in place. That is exactly what happens. Let's assume that your money went below 10,000. The moment it goes below 10,000, it sounds an alarm that, hey, my thermostat setting has gone below where I've set it. And therefore now you will start working hard. You will start devising ways that you can get money back on board. And as you do that, you will go back to where you are and you will be comfortable again. Therefore, if you wanted to earn more than 10,000, you must go back to your self-identity and tell it that you are worth of, let's say, 40,000. The moment you tell it that you are worth of 40,000 and it becomes convicted, therefore you will now start finding conditions, situations, opportunities in life that will uplift you to that level. But as long as your thermostat setting is still set at 10,000, you will get frustrated. Even if you get 40,000, you may get it, but it may not last, because at the end of the day, you'll have to go back to where you belong. You'll have to go back to your self-identity. So dear viewers, that is how we operate. That means that for us to get the new results we desire in our life, we must first of all go back to our thermostat setting. Once our thermostat setting is set to the temperatures that we desire, once our thermostat setting is set for the finances we desire, once the thermostat setting is set for the weight that we desire, and even all aspects of our lives. That is why sometimes people who have set the thermostat setting for their peace to a given level, these people, if they don't enjoy much peace, anytime they are more peaceful, they'll try to create commotion so that at least their thermostat setting can be comfortable. They'll even try to create things that may create some lack of peace. Once they create that, they are now comfortable. So we must go back in our mind and set our thermostat setting right. Once our thermostat setting is right, then the rest of the things will fall in place. But as long as your thermostat setting is not to where it's supposed to be, you'll get frustrated, you'll try your level best, but outside conditions will always ensure that you go back to where you have set it. So consider that. Listen to this video over and over. You will get to discover that there is a relationship that this has to the working of your mind. And once you understand that relationship, therefore your work will now try to see if you can have your mind adjusted. For today, let me get there. Thank you once again for tuning in. Share, like, subscribe. Good day.